MHCV segment for the fourth quarter and the full year next year? Because we are getting a sense that election period, the demand generally tends to get a bit dull.
Yeah, see, elections, especially the union elections, do have a bearing on the demand somehow. But it is very, very temporary. Even if it happens, we think it will recover very, very sharply after the new government is formed. I think for the medium and long term, everything that drives CV industry is going in favor of the industry. Whichever macroeconomic factor we look at, the general economic activity that we look at, the kind of growth the country is seeing. And mind you, the CV industry is very well linked with the overall GDP growth of the country, right? So I think we are in one of the best years of growth in the country, and it will have a good bearing on the CV industry as well. A lot of times I'm asked, that CV industry is very cyclical in nature. And I always say that, in our country right now, we can't project the future looking at the history. I think times are different, times have changed. I think the country is poised for growth, and it will have a very positive bearing on the CV industry overall in the medium to long term.
And so, Mr. Mahadevan, any timeline for the fundraising of Switch? Any plans to list that?
Well, I think Switch has its own plans in terms of, catering to the market, growing its presence, which is doing wonderfully well. And like Shenu mentioned, I think the market is waiting for the ELCVs to be launched in the fourth quarter of this year. We are in active discussions with investors, but I think what's important is to get the right investor in, because it's not just about funds, it's about getting a partner inside, because this is the industry still is at a very nascent stage. It requires investment. There are new technologies coming in, the way the rollout has to happen. And till such time we get that investor, which we are very sure should happen. Ashok Leyland balance sheet is strong enough to support Switch. So we have committed 1,200 crores in the current year, out of which, like you mentioned, 650 and odd crores has been invested. We balance to invest the balance. If there is a necessity, we will certainly continue to invest in there, and hopefully we'll share some good news on, tying up with an investor in the new year as well.
All right, gentlemen, Mr. Mahadevan, Shenu, thank you so much for joining us today.